I definitely see how he could be frustrated coming out of this game. And the whole storyline this season about KP's fit and beyond the health stuff, which we'll talk about that in just a sec, because he answered that question, and it was but
we got to get into it.
But just the whole, like, his shot attempts, where he gets his shots. I mean, we could spend a whole segment on the things that he's talked about in post game, playing the 5, how he likes playing the 5 instead of the 4, his minute rotations, and wanting to, they're finding his rhythm in the game and getting his shots when he first started coming back from his injury and getting up. Him saying he's like, I was just trying to get up shots, I can get back in the game. And
this is the stuff he's told us. This is just the stuff he said publicly.
Yeah, and how long ago was it? A few months ago when he said, he's like, yeah, I'm telling you guys because I've already told, the coaching staff. So it's not like I'm telling you guys or, anything new for them. So I think it's for me, it was just another kind of, I'm going to store this away. Another, chapter in the book this season because his response, his facial response and stuff in that, he said it wasn't the first time that this has happened. So that he's had those conversations before.
Here we go. Let's hear from Kristaps Porzingis. This is 2 different questions from Tim McMahon and then from Chuck Cooperstein, who you guys will all know. Here it is.
Hey, KP, why do you think you weren't able to get involved offensively in the fourth quarter?
Good question. It's just the plays we were running. Happened before also.
Coop?
Hey, KP, number 1, how's your wrist? And number 2, were you told by the doctors anything about the wrist that that allowed you to play tonight? That it's just one of those things you're going to basically have to deal with the rest of the season. That you can't hurt it anymore? Can you give us a kind of an update on that?
It felt good. It feels good now. I think that's something I will deal with at the end of the season, in the off season. So for now, I'll just try to go as much as I can, and hopefully it holds up.
The pause he took after, the question that Tim McMahon asked, why he was not involved more in the fourth quarter, and when he said it's happened before, to me, either that was it's happened before in this game or it's happened before in fourth quarters where I didn't get the ball before, right? Like, it's either one of those two, and it's probably the latter, right? It's probably the one where I haven't been involved late in other games before. And man, that's where you start looking at. We've been looking at everything in a microscope. Do Luka and KP, do they shake hands? Do they high five? Do they do all these things, right? Like, do they get excited for each other? Is Porzingis excited after a game where the Mavs win, but he doesn't necessarily play that well, right? We've been microscoping every single comment he makes. That's the one that sticks out to me is, Luka, give me the ball, right? Like, get me the ball. You got to do better at that. And yeah, that's one of the first comments that really stuck out to me is like calling out Luka in a way.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's all on Luka though. I will say that because even he said that. I think there's a lot of blame to go around for why KP didn't get the ball. I think he deserves some of it too for why he didn't, get the ball and get some shots. I think, like he said it was about plays being called. Was it something, doing with plays being called? Was it something with Luka, who has the ball in his hands the most? Luka had, I think, 8 shot attempts in the fourth quarter. But he's clearly frustrated. There's no way around that. There's no way to not spin it, that direction. There is no spin. He's very open about his emotions. He shared so much with us this season, like we said. Even Rick Carlisle after the game, I think it was Eddie who asked Rick, said, hey, this was a frustrating night for KP, blah, blah, blah. And Rick said, yeah, it was. He's like, and there's like nothing more I can really add to that. So everybody knows that KP is frustrated with how the end of that game went. What changes moving forward, if anything, that will be the thing to watch. And is especially frustrating from a Mavericks standpoint because you want every game, but when they're playing both of these guys on the first night of back-to-back against a team that sucks, and they lose that game, it's extra frustrating because now they go and play the Bucks at home and the Bucks are obviously a much better team.